Revisiting Fortnite's best peaks. Now, as you guys may or may not know, there have been a lot of really high highs and really low lows for Fortnite. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the multiple peaks that Fortnite has had over its almost 7-year lifespan. Everything from Chapter 1 Season 4 all the way up to Chapter 4 Season 2. Now, what exactly is the definition of a peak in the context of Fortnite? And to me, it's a time that people most reminisce about and when it was most popular. I know there are a lot of different contexts you could put this in. What was the peak gameplay, the peak storyline? But for me, it's something that people reminisce about and when I feel like it was the most popular, basically when the vibes were the highest, I guess. Now, the first peak of Fortnite was undoubtedly Chapter 1 Season 3 / Season 4. This was the beginning of the Fortnite addiction, when kids were not doing anything besides for playing Fortnite. For me, in my opinion, I started playing Fortnite when I was in 6th grade. I remember walking down the hallways with my friends, finding out that the meteor actually hit Dusty Depot and not Tilted Towers. Everyone was absolutely obsessed with this game. All the jocks played it, all the nerds played it, everyone was playing this game, and you literally could not stop. It's the only game I played for like years. Now, you could argue that this entire chapter, so the entire first chapter of Fortnite, was a peak itself because of how many celebrities were playing the game. They were promoting it. I mean, Ninja, he had so many people watching him stream. And to be honest, Chapter 1, I feel like Chapter 1 of Fortnite actually like revolutionized gaming and the perception of it. I mean, people really didn't see like gaming and being a YouTuber or being a streamer as a really like legit way that you could make a living for yourself and a way that you could become popular. And that kind of all changed really because of Ninja and because of Fortnite and because of how mainstream this game was. It really did revolutionize, in my opinion, also like esports and competitive gaming. So we really have Chapter 1 Fortnite to thank for how people view Fortnite and content creation, not to mention like just gaming in general. So Season 4, we had a lot of stuff. The storyline was probably at its peak. This was when the Fortnite storyline really kind of came together. The first thing that ever, jump started it was obviously the meteor when it hit. We got the Visitor. We were introduced to the 7 and the Fortnite government, all types of things like that, which eventually led to the rocket event, which you guys know the rest is history from there. Very legendary events, things that have never been in gaming before were seen in Chapter 1 of Fortnite. And that is just simply not even getting into the mechanics of the weapons or any of the newly added things. Just that alone makes this obviously Fortnite's first peak. Now, the next one on my list, and this one might be a little bit controversial, but Chapter 1 Season 7. Now, this wasn't the first time Fortnite has been around during a Christmas event, because I think in Fortnite Season 2, I believe, that was when, around Christmas was when Season 2 came out. But around that time, Fortnite really wasn't like themed around Christmas for that season. I mean, there were lights on the bushes and things like that, and there was, Christmas trees, but that really wasn't a like Christmas themed season. Chapter 1 Season 7 was, and it brought us the planes, the Infinity Blade, the first snow biome, and this snow biome was not like minuscule, man. It was huge. It added such a large part of the map. Like, you look at the first Chapter 1 Fortnite map and compare it just to the Chapter 1 Season 7 map, and it's absolutely insane how much snow was added there. The overall Christmas theme is really missed and nostalgic for a lot of players. That's one that's definitely reminisced on a lot, is Chapter 1 Season 7 with the planes. I know the Infinity Blade was really controversial, but that's something that I think about a lot when I think about Chapter 1 Season 7. I think about especially the competitive side of things, when people would get the Infinity Blade in comp and tournaments, and they would just destroy everybody with it. And then after that, it was ultimately vaulted and we never saw it again. But Chapter 1 Season 7 also had a fantastic story. We had the reveal of the Ice King, which ultimately led to Season 8 with the Prisoner, which eventually led to the Monster event. I mean, Chapter 1 Season 7 brought in so many things. I mean, the Prisoner was inside of Polar Peak, and so was the Monster, and that led to the Monster event, led to Season 8, blah blah, all the rest of that. You could just see the ultimate, like, all these chains of events that conspire together, and I feel like it's most obvious with Chapter 1 Season 7. Nothing beats the Fortnite Chapter 1 Season 7 days when you would sit down with a hot cup of cocoa or hot chocolate or something, and you would sit down and play the game. You'd listen to that like lobby music. Nothing will ever beat that, man. That feeling was awesome, and that will never come back. So that's definitely one of Fortnite's peaks for sure. Now, Chapter 2 Season 2 through 3, in my opinion, I could definitely make an argument that this is undoubtedly Fortnite's best peak. Now, these two seasons I've kind of clumped together just because of how revolutionary both of the themes were for them, for Fortnite, and things that we have never seen before. So Season 2 obviously was the spy theme. We got the addition of Midas, who was a fan favorite character. We had this new sort of battle pass style. We also had like 3D lobbies. You were able to choose between Ghost and Shadow, the first customizable skin. Stuff like that had never been seen in Fortnite before. And also, Season 2 of Chapter 2 was the first time we got a collab skin in the Battle Pass. We got the original Deadpool in the Battle Pass, which that was a really big thing. A lot of you guys may have not been playing then, but I remember when I saw that I was so hyped because I've always been a huge Deadpool fan, and that was one of the reasons why I played Chapter 2 Season 2 so much. Not to mention that it was also extended by like 2-3 months because of COVID, which is probably one of the reasons why it's seen as one of the best seasons ever. But it brought in brand new mythics. It was the first time we'd ever seen mythics in Fortnite. We had the vaults that you would open up with key cards from certain bosses. Hostile NPCs were actually put into the forefront of Fortnite. They were all over, you know, the agency, they were over the shark, the rig, all types of these new sort of, you know, additions. And it's interesting because I feel like Chapter 2 Season 2 was the first season where Fortnite tested how little can we do at the beginning of a season and still make it good. Instead of, you know, making this giant season, giving them a whole new biome every season, let's just add a few new POIs on the corner of the map and let's just see how it goes. And it worked really, really well because people absolutely loved that season. Now, obviously, the device event at the end of Season 2 was so hyped up because we really wanted to get out of that season. I know it's really nostalgic now, but a lot of people were really just done with Chapter 2 Season 2. They were ready to move on to something new, and they absolutely cooked getting us into Season 3. I mean, the device event flooded the map, or flooded the storm. Did not flood the map until Season 3 release, but the tsunami storm was so awesome, and that's something that I don't think will ever be topped. Like the actual like awe that I had when I saw that, because I had no idea that that was going to happen in that event. But moving on, I feel a little bit biased about Chapter 2 Season 3 because this is when I first started taking YouTube seriously. If you guys go all the way back on my channel, you sort it from oldest videos, you'll see that my first couple like seriously like, you know, I'm starting to improve a little bit videos were in Season 3. So I really loved that season. But outside of my own, you know, personal bias, it introduced cars and some of the best mythics that we've ever had. Cars was such a huge thing because I never thought cars would be added to Fortnite, and then they were added, even though we had to wait a long time for them because you had to wait until, you know, the map wasn't completely flooded. It brought so much hype for that season, and really it was great because people had always been complaining ever since after Chapter 1 that we didn't get weekly updates anymore, and that was because Fortnite was really burnt out and they wanted a different way to do it besides for doing weekly updates, because that's just not sustainable. But in Chapter 2 Season 3, they brought back, you know, weekly updates with the weekly map involvement with the flood drying up. So every week, or every like 1.5-2 weeks, I believe it was, the map would, like, you know, the flood would go down and new parts of the map would be revealed. Sometimes they'd be new locations, sometimes it would be, you know, just like kind of little changed stuff, but you could see the effects of the flood as it, you know, slowly, you know, released and everything. And I thought that was really, really cool. There was also a lot of storyline ties in these two seasons. I mean, we had Midas, and then we had the daughter of Midas with Jules, we had the drum gun, and then, you know, later on down the line, we had Midas come back. There's so many different versions of Midas Fortnite right now with different skins and ways that he's been involved with the story and everything. So Chapter 2, Season 2, and 3 were really, really big for this game. And in my opinion, Chapter 2, Season 3 is the best mythics that we've ever had. Those were so much fun with the burst, the charged shotgun from Kit, the grappling gun, the drum gun. That stuff was awesome, and I really, really loved it. It was a lot of fun. Now, the next one is Chapter 3, Season 1, and this one really isn't talked about very much as a peak of Fortnite, but it definitely absolutely was. This is around the time that Fortnite peaks, like for me at least, started to slow down a little bit. I mean, after Chapter 2, Season 3, there really wasn't anything that was too crazy. I mean, obviously the game was still definitely popular, but Chapter 3, Season 1 was really when Fortnite started to pop off again, you know, starting from how we got to Chapter 3 with the map completely like flipping over. That was crazy. That was something that brought a lot of people back to the game. But also Chapter 3, Season 1, and you'll see a bit of a theme here. It started off as a Christmas themed season, not like completely Christmas themed because obviously it was a new map and everything, but there was a lot of Christmas stuff. There was a huge snow biome, but we also got Spider-Man in the Battle Pass. That was a huge thing. Something that will never come back, unfortunately, but you know, just the technicalities of a new map and the excitement of that. We had the web slingers. That's something a lot of people want back, and they've tried to bring it back in certain ways, but it's just really not the same. We had the Christmas presents this season, and it was overall just a great vibe of a season. And honestly, I feel like the Chapter 3 map is one of the best maps that we've ever had. It was so much fun to play on. There was so many different things that they could do with it, and I really wish that they would make chapters like that longer. At least let us like maybe vote or something, because that chapter would have been a lot of fun, and there's a lot of cool stuff they could have done with that. So Chapter 3 Season 1 brought in a lot of cool stuff, a lot of stuff that people really reminisce on. You know, after that, it kind of went downhill. After Chapter 3 Season 1, I was kind of like not as interested in Fortnite anymore, just because I wasn't a fan of the themes of the new seasons, but you know, that might just be me. But Chapter 3 Season 1 undoubtedly was a peak for for Fortnite. It absolutely was. Now, this one is even less talked about than Chapter 3 Season 1, and that is Chapter 4 Season 2. And this is one that I really, really wish I would have played more, because looking back, it was so sick. It's really, really underrated. You know, we had Mega City. That entire biome that they added in Chapter 4 was really cool. It's something that we haven't seen since then. But they added Aaron into the Battle Pass, if you guys don't know. Huge Attack on Titan fan. My favorite anime, the only anime I've ever watched. One of my favorite shows ever. So that really got me into it. We had the Attack on Titan Mythics, of course, but the Kinetic Blade also. If you guys didn't play around this time, imagine like the fist, the Nitro Fist from last season, but it's like, you know, a blade, like a sword. That's pretty much what it was, except the fists were used a little bit more in actual combat than the Kinetic Blade was. That was more used for movement. But the Japanese sort of like tech theme was really, really niche and really like funneled down. It was really cool. It's something that I really wish I would have taken advantage of at the time and played more. You know, we had more techie skins in the shop. There was that one pack that had a Peely like tech version in it, as well as the one girl from Chapter 1 Season 7. So that was really cool, and I'm a really like big techie like themed guy, so I really liked that a lot. It was a great season, like overall. That Mega City, like having like a huge city like that was so cool, and when it first came out, I was really hyped about it. I think this is also when we got like those techie motorcycles too, like the more like high speed like racing motorcycle sort of thing, instead of like the dirt bike sort of motorcycle we had in the season previous to that. But Chapter 4 Season 2 is something that a lot of people are starting to bring up more, and in my poll actually, a lot of people mentioned that. If you don't know, over on my channel, I did make a poll asking people about what they think that the best peak of Fortnite was, and as I look at it here, you can see that a lot of people said Chapter 2 Season 2, but a few people in the comments said Chapter 4 Season 2 needs to be mentioned for sure. But as you can see, 70% of people out of 340 votes said that Chapter 2 Season 2, and this is a landslide, like none of these are even close. Could just be because of the demographic and, you know, when people started playing the game, but Chapter 4 Season 2 is something I want to be mentioned more often, and unfortunately we probably won't have a Chapter 4 OG, you know, something we go back to that, because it's just really not like nostalgic for many people yet. It could happen in the future, maybe a few years down the line, but Chapter 4 Season 2 definitely needs to be talked about more. It may take some time for people to realize if any of the Chapter 5 seasons are a peak of Fortnite, but I think we may be in one right now with Season 4. I think if you mark my words right now, especially with what's coming next, it might be a little difficult Chapter 2 OG, but an honorable mention 100% is the original Fortnite OG. I mean, you have to mention that just because of the sheer number of people who were playing the game, like 3 million players all the time at every hour of the day we're playing that. That was something I really enjoyed. Chapter 2 OG really doesn't need any more of an introduction or any more of a description. Everyone knows how great Fortnite OG was. That was so much fun, especially for all the old players who came back. New players might have not liked it as much because it is like mechanically and technically, it is literally a full-on downgrade. Like it's a completely different game. It's not very good, but for all the OGs out there, that definitely was. Let me know if I missed any peak that you guys thought should be mentioned. Let me know down below in the comments. I definitely will respond to you guys and have conversations about, you know, what the best seasons of Fortnite were. But please do drop a like on today's video if you did enjoy. Use code Prozeroyt. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like these, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.